Welcome, welcome, welcome. We back in this thing. Is Wednesday, August 13th, 2025. It's time to win. We ready to grind. So welcome back, hustlers. Welcome back, go-getters. Today is another Pat Hart Live, man, where we're going to drop some insights, some knowledge to help you get to that next level of your career success. Today's conversation is going to be extremely dope. As you know, everyone that I drop is extremely dope. I'm providing you with tons of insight that you need to get to that next level of your career success. And today we're talking about promotion in 90 days. Is it bold? Absolutely yes. Is it doable? Absolutely yes. But you need the right plan to do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our promotion in 90 days. And I would like to thank you in advance for tuning in with me. And also I'd like to thank the returning viewers that come back every week because you're trying to get that insight and you're truly excited about getting to that next level of your success. So thank you for continuing to join me. Thank you for believing in your success yourself. And then thank you also for the support that you guys continue to show behind the scenes as well. And so today is about promotion in 90 days. Is it bold? Absolutely yes. Is it doable? The answer is hell yes. And just tune right in and let's get into it. All right, so I want to make sure everything is set up properly. The comment box is open right now. Some of them I may not see for whatever reason, but you're welcome to drop any comments in the comment box. Today, we're going to be streaming across LinkedIn, we're going to be streaming across YouTube, and then we're going to be streaming across Facebook as well. So if you drop your first name, where you're streaming from, and then, what part of the world you actually live in, that'd be great as well. I'll follow back up with you and just thank you personally for joining this particular call. So today is about promotion in 90 days. Is it bold? Absolutely yes. Is it doable? The answer is hell yes, but we need the right plan. So listen, I'm not going to go in my background. You can read my bio, but I've been doing this for a minute. And what I'm doing today is I'm leading with impact. And impact I'm trying to do is help you get unstuck, help you achieve similar same success that I kind of been through in my path. Too many times I've seen people, they get passed over for opportunity just because they don't know how to position themselves or they don't know how to speak to what they've already been through and how it relates to business outcomes for organizations. So that's me. But the stakes are high. Listen, it's not getting any easier out there, right? We're competing with AI. We're competing with other people who look like us. We're competing with other people from outside of our country for the same or similar opportunities. And you need to know how to network so you can get to where you want to be in your life from your career standpoint. So listen, some of you have been some of you are doing more than ever at work today, right? But you're still invisible. You're out there, you're busting your tail, but for whatever reason, no one is noticing you. So this next 30 minutes is about flipping the script. So we're going to flip the script to turn you from invisible to visible. And I'm going to give you tons of practical insights and stories. Let me see who we got here. Joseph, hey, nice to pop in, man, from Florida. Good to meet you virtually. Hopefully we can connect afterwards as well. Maybe a virtual cup of coffee. That's great. But thank you thank you for popping in today. So I want to share a story with you about somebody who I actually mentored, who within 90 days actually earned the type of career that she was interested in. And not only in 90 days did she do that, but within 7 years, she became a millionaire. So I would ask you, is financial success important to you? Like, is that what you want to do? Like, for a lot of us, we're trying to better ourselves. And a lot of us, we envision increasing our network because we're thinking, you know what, if I increase my net worth, then I can accomplish some of the things that I wanted to personally behind the scenes. So within 7 years, she changed her whole career and she ended up becoming a millionaire within 7 years. But we started with a 90-day approach. And so we'll kind of tap into this. Who else is on here? Oh, thank you. Appreciate you. So if you've been in the same role for more than 3 years, what I would like you to do is drop that fire emoji in the comments. If you've been in the same role for more than 3 years, I just want to see who I'm talking to today. This is going to give me some insight and tell me how deep I need to go, how much passion I need to lead with, just to help you understand how we're going to get to that next level of our career success. So if you've been in your same role for 3 years or longer, drop that fire emoji right there in the comments, and then I will see you. Listen, what we're going to get into, there's going to be 3 shifts that we need to learn today that's going to position you for where you want to be tomorrow. Those 3 shifts are, I'm going to tell them to you now, and then we're going to dive a little bit deeper into them, give you some more meat on the bone so you can have some insight to get you where you need to be. First shift we're going to need to do is you're going to need to change from being a task doer to a strategic operator. That's shift number one. You can write this down, or you can come back and revisit this. This live is probably going to be live for 30 days before I take it down and then repurpose it somewhere. So shift one, we're going to be from task doer to strategic operator. Shift two is going to be showing value where decision makers see you the most. So that's going to be shift two. So that's basically about becoming visible. And then shift three is going to be build champions who speak your name. And then I asked you today, do you have champions right now that are speaking your names in rooms you've never been in that are creating opportunities for you that you never even visited for yourself? Or maybe you did, you just didn't know how to get there. So those three shifts we're going to get into today. So once again, thank you. Welcome for joining. The comment box is open. Drop your first name, where you're from, and where you're streaming. That'd be great. So let's get right into it. Shift one, from task doers to strategic operator. What are you talking about, Pat? Well, what am I talking about is I'm talking about how to reframe your role. What I've noticed is that a lot of us, we get stuck in these roles is because we don't know how to talk about what we do and the impact that it makes to the business, right? Same thing with our profile. We don't know how to use our, whatever profile you're using, how to speak to the future opportunities that you're trying to achieve. A lot of us get stuck is because we don't know how, I mean, and maybe you have the skill set, but you don't know how to, in an interview, explain properly, articulate, right, what you're doing and what you've done and how it creates revenue for an organization or it creates impact for an organization. So one, I want you to work on the reframing your role, right? I also want to help you explain there's a difference between checking boxes and moving the needle. A lot of us, we go to work and we work hard, man. And I see you. We're busting our tails. We're probably going above and beyond. We're probably doing more than our 40 hours. Some of us, we're putting 60, 80 hours in a week. And then to the extreme, there's some people doing 100 hours a week, right? And you go to work and you start checking boxes. You're like, okay, I show up to work. I got this checklist of everything that needs to happen today. That box is checked, completed that, I move on to the next box. Oh, that box is checked, I completed that, I move on to the next box. That box is checked. And you keep doing this until you complete all your tasks for the day, right? That's what most of us do, and we're doing it well. That's great. Is that going to get you promoted? No. Is it going to make you visible? No. Is it going to make you probably feel good about yourself? Perhaps. But does it get you paid the income that you're trying to make? The answer is no, right? So we want to reframe here from checking boxes to moving the needle. What are we talking about? Well, instead of going to work and just checking off boxes, what if you checked off a box and then you made sure that particular box never showed back up again, right? Or you made sure we're not duplicating the same thing the very next day. It's one, and this is where people get burnt out, is because you go to work and you're checking off boxes, and those boxes you're checking are the same freaking boxes every single day. Can we check a different box already, right? That's what we're looking for, checking a different box. So I want you to refrain from going to work to check boxes to going to work to move the needle. The needle that we're moving is we want to remove these boxes that we do frequently out of our preview so we can work on other boxes. And that's where that growth happens. Are you with me? Y'all raise your hand, drop your emoji in the chat box if you're still with me. Let me know if I'm going too fast, but I'm going to speak directly to you because you're the one that's here and you're looking to get to the next level. And I'm looking to help you get there, right? So we want to refrain from checking boxes to moving the needle forward. What do I mean by this? I mean, let's say you had a box that's something you needed to complete, right? And you checked it off. Now, as a leader, what I want to think about is what kind of solutions, what kind of tools can I put into place where that particular box never needs to be checked off of again? You see what I'm saying? This is moving the needle forward. Now, so I want to check my boxes off, but then I also want to make sure that I'm not checking off that same box tomorrow. I'm not checking off that same box next week. I'm doing something different. So this is where we're framing what we do and then thinking strategically solutions, outcomes, and processes that we can put in place to ensure that that particular box doesn't need to be checked again. And this will increase your energy when you show up to work. This will increase visibility opportunities because now we're thinking outside the box, and then we want to share those particular wins as well. So I want to give you a quick tip. I want you to tie your daily work to business outcomes that leadership tracks. So a lot of people, they get stuck because they don't know how to share the business outcomes of what they did today. You put in 40 hours. You put in 40 hours this week. You put in 60 hours this week. Explain to me the business outcome that you actually achieved. That's what I want to know. As a leader, that's who I want to hire. I want to hire the people who know how to not only do their job, but explain to why they did it and the business outcome that it actually makes. And then as a leader, I'm looking for people who are aware of what they bring to the table, right? Their value, and they know how to explain it to me in such a way where I see their impact and I see the value that they bring as well, right? So I want you to start tying your daily work to business outcomes. Think about 40 hours this week. What did I complete? How can I share it? Or how did it move the needle for the business? And then we want to start talking about those particular wins, right? Here's an example. What about this one here? Instead of saying I processed 40 patient records today, I want you to say something like, okay, I reduced patient intake wait times by 15%, improving the patient experience. You see the difference? One is a worker, right? You process 40 patient records today. The other one is a leader who actually moved the needle forward, which is I reduced patient outcomes intake wait times by 15%, improving patient experience. You and I know as a patient, you go to any facility, if I got to wait more than 15 minutes, I'm like, man, these are broken processes right here, right? If I can't get back and see a doctor or a nurse, this process is broken. Or whatever, any business that you're in, right? It could be in the mechanical industry. If I can't show up at your dealership and get my car serviced, or someone grease me and take the keys to my car within 5 minutes, I'm like, this is a broken process, right? So we want to talk about how we're able to drive outcomes for the business, and we want to speak about percentages, not just work that we've done. Leaders and organizations, they buy into percentages because now there's a measurable impact that they can use to see how it fits within their business. So that's an example I'll give you. I also want you to drop one task that you did this week that you could reframe into a business result. Like, think about it. What's one task you did this week? And I know it's only Wednesday. You're like, it's only Wednesday, Pat. Listen, it's Wednesday at noon. So we had at least 2.5 days that we've been grinding. What have you done? And how can we talk about that? Drop one task that you did this week that you can reframe into a business outcome. Think about it. All right. Even if y'all got to think about it, get back with me, DM me. Just like, hey, Pat, I thought about it. This is one thing that I can do. That's fine. I'll read it and respond back to you. 100%. I will do that. So shift one was going from task-doer to strategic operator. We're going to pivot. We're going to move into shift two, which is showing value where decision makers see you. The purpose here of this particular shift right here is to help you understand visibility with the right people creates opportunity. And a lot of us, we're afraid to be visible, or we would like to be visible, but we don't understand how to make ourselves visible right here, right? So being good at your job is kind of a thing of the past. Like most leaders and organizations, we're going to assume that everybody is going to be somewhat good at their job, right? That's not enough for leadership, though, to notice you. If you're assuming that everybody's good at their job, then how are you standing out as a potential applicant candidate for a future role in leadership? Think about it. Everybody's doing their job dopely, right? They're grinding it out. What are you going to do differently where you can become visible, where leaders notice you? A lot of us, we go to work and we're thinking, you know what? All I got to do, I just go to work and I got to bust my tail. I'm going to put in my 40, 60 hours, 80 hours a week. That shit is old, right? Yes, I said shit. That shit is old. You can do that all you want to. But if I'm trying to get promoted, I got to turn all this hard work that I'm doing into tangible results that speak to business outcomes. So how do we do this, right? Here's a tip. I want you to, and you've heard this before, I'm probably not going to tell you anything new. I would love for you to volunteer for cross-functional projects or leadership updates. Well, what are we talking about, Pat? What's cross-functional? Meaning outside of your department. If I do something here today and my impact is over a team of 5, 7, 10, whatever people it is, it's still within your department. What about the other departments that make up your organization? Volunteering for those cross-functional projects, meaning outside of my department, now we're creating an opportunity for us to become even more visible beyond my circle of influence. You see what I'm saying? You with me? Nod your head, drop your fire emoji, the hand sign, or your avatar right in the chat box. This is what I'm talking about. Cross-functional projects, meaning they're outside of your department. This is where we're trying to go. If we're going to try to impact and become a leader then we need to be able to do it just be outside just my department as well, across the organization. So this is why I want you to volunteer for cross-functional projects or leadership updates. That's one tip that I'm going to give you. Now we're going to move on. I want to share a success story with somebody who just simply started reporting their wins differently, and then they got tapped for a promotion. And that person is going to be me. You're like, what, Pat? Yeah, let me take a sip of water. Let me tell you what happened. So when I first got into healthcare, I was in healthcare sales, did sales and marketing, and that was in 2009. And what I used to do is I used to help family members, their loved ones, and seniors navigate the transition from a home-based setting to a community-based setting. So basically, we're going from being independent to now we're going to, somewhat dependent on someone, whether it's independent living, whether it's senior living, assisted living, whether it's memory care, whether it was skilled nursing. I used to work with families like that, helping them navigate that journey. And if you've never been through that journey before, it's intense, it's emotional. There's a lot of feelings involved in it. There's a lot of planning that involves in it. There's a lot of hand holding involved in it. But then there's also a sales piece of it as well. And that sales piece of it is, how do I help these families make this buying decision faster and not later? Because at the end of the day, I'm trying to help that senior. I'm trying to help that family overcome this grief, this empathetic situation that they find themselves in, so they can actually move forward with their life, right? So one of the things that I did is, I came in from a fairly strong background before I got in, fairly strong sales background before I got into the industry. And what I was noticing is that in senior living, right, in that realm, a lot of people, they're good at talking about their facilities. They're good at talking about all the amenities, right? But what they wasn't good at is talking about or driving the sale forward. How do you position what you do and then the outcome that you're able to create to move the sale forward today versus tomorrow? You're thinking, oh, we got time. No, we don't have time. We have to help them today. So my thing was noticing that we hired a lot of marketers and not salespeople. One of the things that I did is to move the sale forward faster is I came up with the bright idea. Let's create an offer letter. They say, well, okay, Pat, what does that mean? I want to offer you and the family an opportunity to move into our facility. And here's our offer. And then it's timestamped. And then it actually has an ending date on it. This offer is good for such and such. This is something I put together, and I shared it with families. On the first visit, I created an offer letter for them. There's nothing like an offer letter, because you think about your organization you work for today or organization you had in the past. You get that offer letter, they email it to you, and it has your starting date, right? It has your salary, it has your title, it has who you're going to report to. And you look at that offer letter, you're like, man, this is me. Like, this is my next chapter. Like, this is my next opportunity. That's the offer letter. Same thing with family. There's an emotional tie-in with that offer letter. Something like that. Simple as that. I use that. And not only did I use that, but then I asked my manager if I could share with other leaders within the organization. And the outcome that I got was I got promoted to a higher level opportunity. Only because, one, I was thinking outside the box. Two, I decided to share a win with the rest of the world. And then it was something that got implemented across our organization, which impacted revenue for the organization. You see what I'm saying? So it's something simple that I did. Same thing you can do. You just think about the business impact that you're trying to make across your organization. How can I streamline it? How can I improve it? And then how can I share that with someone? Here's a mini script, something you could do. Because you're thinking, okay, well, Pat, that sounds great. How do I even start that conversation with my supervisor? Something simple sentence right here. Hey, Patrick, I thought you should know that I created this offer letter. And I created this because I saw a need at converting sales at a quicker pace, thus driving revenue at a quicker pace. I wanted to share this with you because I felt like this is going to be a huge business impact. Simple as that. And then you wait for a response. What's a fair amount of time to wait? I'm pretty impatient. So for me, it's 24 hours. For you, it may be 48 to 72. But I'm just an impatient guy like that. So that's a mini script that you can use. So here's a prompt. I would like you to do this. What's one leader in your organization who needs to see more of your work? You know what I want you to do right now? What I want you to do, I want you to tag them. If you're brave enough, Only if you're brave enough. A leader in your organization who needs to see more of your work. Go ahead and tag them on this, right? Right after you watch it, you share this with them, and then you start a conversation with them. I want you to do that if you're brave enough, only if you're brave enough. So we just completed shift number 2, which is showing your value where decision makers see you. That was pretty simple. Now we're going to get into shift number 3. Shift number 3 is build champions who speak your name. What are you saying, Pat? I'm saying you want to build advocates for you. So the purpose of shift number 3 is relationships that promote you when you're not in the room, help you create opportunities. So this is why shift number 3 is so important. We want to build champions who speak our name, and these are people who are speaking your name when you're not in the room. I want to help you understand this too. There's a difference between an advocate versus a mentor. Advocate versus a mentor. And maybe you can drop it in the box if you know the difference. I'll wait 5 seconds while you think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm a little impatient, right? Because I got to make sure we're on time and make sure everybody gets through this. But the difference between an advocate and a mentor, an advocate is going to be someone who speaks your name in rooms that you're not in. They're advocating on your behalf. Like they're almost treating you like you're their little brother, they're your little sister. They admire your work and they want to see you win. Those are advocates, right? So they want to speak your name in rooms that you're not in. Whereas your mentors, they work with you behind the scenes to help position you for those opportunities, right? So they've probably been there, done that. They've been through some things that you haven't been through, and they're more than happy to share their outcomes with you so you don't have to, basically to help you navigate the journey. So make the road a little less tough. What I want you to find are advocates. That's what we're building here. We're building advocates. These are champions that are speaking your name in rooms that you're not in. Think about that when you're working, for the rest of this year. Am I building advocates or I'm going to find mentors? And I'm saying they're both dope. They are. You want one of you probably want multiple of each. I probably want multiple advocates and I want multiple mentors because each advocate has a different background. Each mentor comes from a different background. They have different experiences, right? And so they're able to share that with you. But I want you to focus on finding yourself an advocate as well as a mentor for the rest of the year. Also, I'm going to be setting up 15-minute coffee chats this week. No, I'm going to do that. But what I want you to do is think about this. I would like you to set up a 15-minute coffee chat, whether it's virtual or in person, with influential people, either in your organization or outside your organization. People that you admire, people you respect, people you aim to be like, those people right here. So I want you to set up a 15-minute coffee chat with influential people, and we'll talk about this. Here's your outreach script. Hi, I'm Patrick. I admire how you led such and such project. I love to grab 15 minutes to learn from your journey. Could we set something up this week or next week? Giving them 2 options, right? Can we set something up this week or next week? Hi, I'm Patrick, and I admire how you led such and such project or such and such initiative. I love to grab 15 minutes to learn from your journey. Could we set something up this week or next week? Why am I doing this? I'm giving them options. I know they're busy people. They're impactful, influential people. But also, I want to make it easy for them to say, you know what? Yeah, this week doesn't work, but we can definitely set up something next week. These are 15-minute coffee chats with influential people at least once a week. I'm going to get into like your 90-day success plan here in a minute, but this is going to be part of it. You have to reach out to the people who you admire, influential people who can help become advocates for you. That's what we're looking for. Why am I doing this? Because I'm looking for an advocate. So here's an example. There's a product manager that I used to work with at a technology company, and she was doing amazing work. And it wasn't amazing. It was just, she was really, really good work. She would go above and beyond. She would take on new initiatives. She would raise her hand for leadership projects, even though she wasn't a leader. And I remember we used to have these recurring meetings. I reported directly to the CEO, and we used to have these recurring meetings with all the business unit leaders. And when we get together, we just kind of talk about, how our business unit is performing. We talk about, key superstars in the organization who deserve recognition. And I recall this one particular time saying her name, talking about the impact that she was making for my particular business unit. Well, as we fast forwarded, she ended up getting promoted to the VP of product management. So we're creating opportunities. She went from a product manager to being a VP of product manager because a senior executive, and which happened to be me at that time, shared her name in a room that could actually move the needle forward. We're no longer checking boxes. We're moving needles forward. Who became our advocate? I did. Was I her supervisor? Absolutely. But I was also her advocate. And that's one of the things that, it could be a whole nother conversation. As a leader, we have to advocate on the behalf of our associates to help them out, because leadership is about impact and influence. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help people show up in the rooms just like we did, because we've all kind of been there before. So that was a success story. You want to find an advocate as well. Here's a prompt for you. Type ally, ALLY, if you got at least one person advocating for you in rooms that you can't access right now. ALLY. Drop ally in the comments if you know you have an ally, someone who's advocating on your behalf in rooms you've never been in that potentially can give access to you. And if you can't think of somebody, then that's troubling, right? That means there's an opportunity for us to go find those particular advocates. Okay. Any questions? You're welcome to drop them in the chat box. We'll move on from here. Move on to the next section. I think we did all three right here. That was all three? Okay. Time check. We're right at time. We got a few minutes left, so we'll wrap this up. Here's your 90-day cadence. Okay, Pat, I've been waiting for this. What's this 90-day cadence? This is going to be a ready to implement plan, and it's going to be fairly simple. So it's going to be a weekly cadence. The only thing you need to do this repeat the same cadence for the next 90 days, and we will see what these outcomes look like 90 days from today. So Monday, what I would like you to do, starting on Mondays, one LinkedIn update showcasing your leadership thinking. So Mondays, we're going to share one leadership update showcasing the way we think as a leader. Do you have to be right? No, you do not have to be right. The thing is, this is you finding your voice. You actually have to share your voice. The things that make up on LinkedIn today, I mean, half the people are not right, but they have an opinion. And this is what leaders are looking for, right? We're looking for somebody, not just a yes person, because we can find those anywhere. I'm looking for someone who actually has an opinion. And then what you will find is you will attract other people with the same or similar opinion as you, or people that disagree with you. Both are great, because now it's showing growth. It shows you become visible, where somebody can counteract what you say, somebody can lean into what you say, somebody can validate what you said. So we're going to do that on Monday. Starting every Monday, we want to showcase one way that we think as a leader, whatever it is. It could be directly with your organization or across many organizations. How do you think? That's on Mondays. On Wednesdays, I want you to meet with one potential advocate. Again, advocate is somebody that can speak our names in rooms that we never been in, right? I want you to meet up with one potential advocate. And in order to meet up with that person, we actually have to send that email that we talked about before, how you admire them. You would love to grab 15 minutes as a coffee chat. And the only thing you're doing is an explorational call. We're trying to understand who they are as a person. And through relationship building, that person begins to want to advocate on your behalf. So Mondays, post one LinkedIn. Wednesdays, we meet with one potential advocate. We're going to do this every week. And then on Fridays, I want you to share one win update. Share one win that you were able to accomplish this week to your leadership team or to the leaders directly in your organization. So Mondays, we're going to post one LinkedIn update. Wednesdays, we're going to meet with one potential advocate. And then on Fridays, we're going to share a win internally with our department. You do this for 90 days. 90 days. It sounds like a lot, but it's not. And 90 days goes fast. We know how fast the summer is flown by. What happens? All this begins to compound. What you did in week 1, week 2, week 3, week 9, week 12, that compounds, and it creates opportunities for you through visibility, understanding, and alignment with those who may actually advocate for you, and see how your career changes within 90 days. So I would like to ask you this. Which day do you think is going to be the hardest for you? Is it going to be Mondays, posting your LinkedIn update, Tuesdays, meeting with your potential advocate, or Fridays, sending that internal update to your leadership team about the wins that you have? Think about those harder days. And then what I want you to do is prepare for those days in advance, so your hard days become your easy days. All right. We're about to close this out right here. We got a minute left. So takeaways from here that I want you to leave with. We want to recap that we want to go from task doer to strategic operator. We want to show our values in the right room. We want to build outcomes or champions that speak your name. And then I will want to reassure you that, yeah, these steps may feel like they're big, but they're not really big, but they're targeted. And through consistent actions, we can develop and create an opportunity that we probably never had before. So if you want to actually stick around and turn, things into results for you, you need accountability as well as a blueprint. That's exactly what I create inside my inner circle. So here's my call to action here. I want to drive action and engagement with you. I invite you to comment member, just write in the chat box or put it in the link in the bio, and I will follow back up with you with a one-page checklist and an access link to my membership program. I also want to remind you that 90 days from now, you can still be venting about the same role that you're in now, or you could be negotiating your next big title. The difference is starting today versus tomorrow. You're thinking, oh, I can put this off. Don't put this off. Let's move forward. So I would invite you to my inner circle. It's the Accelerator Mentorship Program. It's $47. I'll put the link in the chat right after this. You're welcome to join me. Let's elevate your career. Listen, your promotion, it isn't luck. It's a plan. So let's make that happen together. I'll see you on the inside. Until next time, thank y'all for joining me.